Hey, thanks for joining us on this Friday afternoon. Happy Friday. You're finally Friday. You're finally here. We had a very busy night last night here at Hail Trace, thanks to those storms that tracked across the Midwest. One of those storms being a PDS tornado warning. PDS stands for particularly dangerous situation, and this was near IU in Bloomington, Indiana. This was a very dangerous tornado that was on the west side of Bloomington last night. We did have some reports of that hitting the airport as well, the Monroe County Airport, I think it is, in that area. So we'll take a look at that storm in just a few minutes. I'll show you exactly where that went through. After that, we're going to talk about our weekend Gulf storms. So we are expecting more storms across the East Coast and then down into our Gulf states. You're going to see mainly a tornado and wind hazard here. And again, that tornado risk is for tomorrow down in the Gulf. So we'll talk about that. But for today, we have a marginal risk highlighted there in green. That'll be for North Carolina from ongoing storms. So storms that are ongoing right now. There's a line of storms that are moving through Raleigh right now. And the main hazards here is going to be strong wind and some small hail. Not too worried about the storms today. However, things change tomorrow as we are expecting another chance for tornadoes. A few brief tornadoes are possible anywhere from Montgomery all the way down to Panama City on the south side of Alabama, Georgia, and southern South Carolina. Everyone highlighted there in green could be at risk for a tornado on Saturday. Let's talk about storms right now. Storms are moving through. Here we go in North Carolina. There's Raleigh right now. Storms are past Raleigh at the moment. Fayetteville all the way up to Kingston or Kinston. I think I'm saying that correctly. What we're seeing basically here are some strong winds. And you can actually see that they're indicated on radar. What we're seeing here, these thunderstorms are blowing out that strong wind ahead of it. So you're going to feel that strong wind and it's actually picking up maybe some dust and dirt, maybe some little bugs in there. And so we're starting to see that on radar, just indicating that we do have some strong winds with the storm. Now I want to go ahead and take a look at your 48-hour storm reports. This is what we saw last night. And I actually want to back this up just a little bit here because we did track storms into Indianapolis last night, but we had storms even before that in Missouri. There you go, near St. Louis. All right, Chipper, thanks for joining us today. I'm glad you're back on here today. So yesterday morning, Chipper remembers this. You watched us whenever we covered this yesterday. Yesterday morning, we saw storms move just north of Lafayette and into Fort Wayne. And this was just the very beginning of the storms that we saw yesterday. After that, our attention shifted back to the west, just west of St. Louis, where we saw a few hail reports in this area. Not terribly impressive, but I do have videos out of St. Louis if you want to see how large the hail was in this area. As this line of storms continued to track to the east and a cluster of storms down in the southern side of Illinois and Indiana and Kentucky, we started to see that severe risk increase as we headed into the evening hours. We really saw an all-out either tornado or wind or hail outbreak. It depended on the time of the night that you watched the radar as we headed into the rest of the afternoon, evening, and late night hours. You can see at times we had 4 tornado warnings on the board all at one time. Overall, we had 7 reported tornadoes last night, 66 hail reports from the entire day on Thursday, and about 43 wind reports. So those tornadoes, they really started going on the eastern side of Illinois and the western side of Indiana. Here, these tornado warnings are crossing that state line, and I actually have a video here in just a minute. We're going to wait until we play that video, but I do want to show you. I'm going to point out this tornado warning right here. You're going to see a video of a tornado in just a minute, and it's from this warning right here near Flat Rock, Illinois. But I want to continue to play this radar loop forward because pretty soon this southern storm turned into that Bloomington supercell that went across the west side of Bloomington, Indiana. It went through the airport, and then it continued to track. I mean, it was a really impressive storm. Had some decent hail with it as well. Continued to track near IU. And I know a lot of people were talking about that IU almost took a direct hit. So that's something that they're watching for today. They're getting more information on today as they are going through the recovery process. And we're thinking about everyone who has to go through that today. But that storm is mapped at hailtrace.com. I want to go ahead and I want to take a look at those videos that we saw yesterday. We have a video of that tornado that I mentioned near Flat Rock, Illinois. Very, very impressive. You can see the rotation. You can see that we've got some strong wind going on. We appreciate Liz for letting us use her video. She posted this and gave us permission to use it. And now this video is coming out of Maplewood, Missouri. So again, those early day storms, they didn't have very big hail with them, but they had a lot of hail. We were getting a lot of reports from hail in St. Louis, but I want you to notice the size of this hail. It's not too terribly impressive. You may see some decent stones mixed in there, but yeah, it's pretty small hail in St. Louis yesterday. All right, we can go back to the map here, but I did want to show you kind of a wrap up of what we saw yesterday before we move on to storms today. Now let's talk about those storms today. Some of us were starting to see a little mini high pressure system set in. It's going to keep us pretty breezy today. After that cold front came through yesterday, we're feeling those cooler temperatures. I walked outside today in a t-shirt, it's your short sleeves as you can see, and I said, holy moly, it's cold. I didn't expect that, and I even told you it was going to be cold yesterday. So I'm sure a lot of people are going through that, feeling those colder temperatures for today. We've got a line of storms ongoing across the East Coast right now. We're going to see more storms tomorrow, and we'll talk about that risk here in just a few minutes. Other than that, it's pretty dry out there. Some light snow showers ongoing across Albuquerque and the west side of Colorado at the moment. Temperatures are a lot colder today than they were yesterday. 65 was what we saw yesterday here in Oklahoma City at this time of day, and now we're sitting at 37. 29 in Kansas City, 22 in Denver. Kansas could actually see some snow today. 24 in Minneapolis, 15 in Billings, 32 in Fort Wayne. Yeah, most of us are either close or below freezing right now. Hey, we've got some winter alerts highlighted on the board here in purple. Winter weather advisory for my folks up in Kansas. We've got a few more winter alerts highlighted there in purple and pink, but we still are watching for that dangerous fire concern, highlighted in hot pink down in the western side of Oklahoma, Texas, and eastern New Mexico. Unfortunately, still dealing with that fire concern, and I don't think that we're going to see a ton of improvement here. Unfortunately, a lot of this rain is going to stay to the east of Oklahoma and Texas and New Mexico. The places that we need it the most, right here in the central and southern portion of the U.S., that rain this week or this weekend is going to be to the south and east of there, southeastern portion of the U.S. Let's take a look at your hail models here. Every now and then you can see some of that larger hail trying to mix in. Can we zoom down here? Let me see. Do I have it zooming down today? I do. Okay. Today, some small hail possible in North Carolina. I didn't make a hail map for today because I think it's a very, very, very low risk to see any significant hail in North Carolina today. I'm not expecting any hail from this line of storms that's moving through right now. We stay dry for a little bit, but then our attention turns farther up to the north of these Gulf states here. So we're talking about northern Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. We've got some storms coming through late tonight and early tomorrow morning, but again, the risk remains pretty low. As we head into Saturday, we see that hail risk return a little bit, that tornado risk returning with it as well. So we're watching for the southern side of the Gulf states for that next round of severe weather. You can see a little bit of hail with this. Honestly, this hail model is a little bit more impressive than I expected. Showing some yellows, maybe some oranges in there. So quarters to maybe up to ping pong ball size hail possible with these storms tomorrow. And we'll show you exactly where those storms will be. You've got some snow up in our New England states. I told you snow in Kansas and Nebraska as well, maybe mainly in the northern side of the state. I told you a few days ago not to expect snow in Oklahoma. I'm standing by that. Don't expect snow in Oklahoma. I know models like 4 days ago was trying to bring snow into Oklahoma, and it's not going to happen. All right, let's talk about tomorrow. Let's talk about Saturday here. Restarting the radar. There's your storms that we are tracking right now. It's going to move off the East Coast, and then we're going to be severe clear for about 12 to 15 hours. After that, our attention turns up to the north, the northern side of our Gulf states here. Okay, so we're going to talk about two things here. The northern half of our Gulf states and then the southern half. The northern half gets hit tonight. Very, very low severe weather risk here. Very low severe weather risk. Better chances for severe weather down in the southern half of our Gulf states tomorrow. That'll start anywhere from the mid to late morning hours and continue through the afternoon and evening. You can see a nice line of storms there. You do have a chance for tornadoes, strong winds, and a little bit of hail mixing in. Your hail risk remains low. Tornadoes that form will not be long lasting. They'll be pretty brief here. Storms continue to track and slowly move down to the south as we head into the evening and late night hours. And then I don't see a risk for storms on Sunday. Actually, most of us will stay pretty dry on Sunday. You can see that most of the U.S. is dry on Sunday. Here's what happens. A high pressure system is moving from the Pacific all the way across the Four Corners into the middle of the U.S., and this high pressure system is basically going to kill all storm chances. We're going to have a very, very low chance for any rain early next week. Monday and Tuesday, temperatures will warm back up. That high pressure system will bring in that strong wind as well, and we'll be pretty clear in terms of cloud cover, rain chances. Not a ton of rain chances. I know that we need it this time of the year, especially with this fire concern that we've had, but take a look at this. That area that needs it the most will most likely have no rain, at least for the next 5 days. Areas that will get rain, of course, is that system I talked about this weekend, a snow system in our New England states, and then some ongoing rain chances that'll filter through the Pacific Northwest. There's your forecast. One more recap with severe weather today in North Carolina. Should only last a few more hours and then we'll be severe clear. Severe weather tomorrow down in the southern side of our Gulf states, Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina, with that level 1 risk for brief tornadoes and strong wind gusts, but a pretty low chance for hail. And then we're severe clear on Sunday. We warm up. We're feeling that cold air right now, but we warm up by Sunday and Monday. Look at that warm air starting to filter back in. And we're back above average, which is what we've been seeing for most of February. What about the end of February? What are we seeing as we get into the very end of the month here, the 25th through the 29th? Is it 29 or is that March 1st at this point? I've got to check my calendar over here. I have this incorrect. Okay, it's the 25th through March 1st. So we are looking as far out as the first day of March. It's warm. It is a warm start. What did that groundhog say? Didn't he say that we were going to have 6 more weeks of winter? Groundhog, I show you the maps. Does it look like winter here? It does look like it's going to stay pretty warm, temperatures above average as we head into the rest of February and into early March. We have a really, really good chance to see those warm temperatures sticking around down in the south, and unfortunately, we have a really good chance to stay dry as well down in the south. Better chances for rain farther up to the north, but it looks like those fire concerns are going to persist down in our southern states, which I know is not something that we want to see. Oh, we'd love some rain in this area, that is for sure. And there's your forecast. Hey, I have an important announcement. If you are coming to our Denver Raising Hail Tour event, it's next Tuesday. We're very, very excited to see you there. Our announcement is that we are going to have a free happy hour for you, sponsored by Daily in Black. Daily in Black, we appreciate you setting up that happy hour. After the event, join us for drinks and conversations. We would love to see you there. And if you haven't gotten tickets for the Raising Hail Tour yet, we have 2 more stops to go. We're going to go to Denver next Tuesday on the 24th, Minneapolis on the 3rd. Head to raising-hail-tour.com to get your tickets. Raising-hail-tour.com to get your tickets. DM us if you would like a coupon code, because we do have a discount code for you if you send us a DM. And thanks for joining us today. Make sure that you follow us on all forms of social media. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And thanks for joining us today. We appreciate all of your support. Ozzy is back on here from Toronto, Canada. Okay, Toronto, Canada, take your cold air back. We're sending it back to you. It's colder today here in Oklahoma, and I don't like the cold. I was really enjoying that nice warm air. Give us a call if you're interested in a hail, wind, or tornado map, 855-334-4245, or email us at info@hailtrace.com. Tornado, wind, hail maps are all included in, are offered in our subscriptions here. We have all of those storms updated from yesterday. So what we have here is we have meteorologists that will map storms around the clock. And then we have another meteorologist that comes in behind them, and they make sure that everything is as accurate as we can possibly be. He goes back, we call it QCing it, quality control, and he makes sure that we can be as accurate as possible and as fast as possible for you guys. Head over to hailtrace.com for more information. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. We'll see you back here for your forecast, same time, same place on Monday.